The markets and Bitcoin are experiencing a divergence. This doesn't normally happen, and we're going to talk about it in this video, along with MSTZ trade today and how I was able to lock in $100 today in profits. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Consider smashing the like button and subscribing. So guys, usually Bitcoin and QQQ or the overall Nasdaq market will follow each other. They'll either both go up or they'll both go down. Now, before everything was kind of tied with Bitcoin, we're talking a couple of years ago, maybe even a little more than that, this was normal. If QQQ pushed up, then Bitcoin would sell off, and vice versa. But over the last couple of years, because so many companies are now, kind of in on Bitcoin, they're holding Bitcoin or they're doing something along the lines with Bitcoin. There are a lot of companies that do hold some Bitcoin in their cash reserves, or whatever you would say, Bitcoin reserves. Anyways, usually it is same, right? QQQ pushes up, Bitcoin pushes up. Today we are seeing the exact opposite. We have noticed that QQQ since yesterday is pushing up from $720 all the way up to $740, surpassing a key resistance level on the day of 737, even 738, and pushing up. Bitcoin, on the other hand, has been selling off from highs of 64,300 to now down to 62,600. It even got as low as 62,200 today. Now, why is this happening? Well, a couple of things. Nasdaq market is still somewhat bullish due to the signing from the United States and the Iran deal. Markets have been bullish for over 10 weeks because of this deal taking effect, not taking effect. Trump says this and then does that. He going back and forth, all this stuff. And I'm sure you guys are familiar with it. I've made plenty of videos about it. But at the same time, this is beginning to become ridiculous. Markets are now up to just shy of $740. They're up about 2% or $16 per share of QQQ because of a few factors, right? I mean, this Iran US deal has been signed, so we'll see what happens with that. We have a new Fed chair. It's no longer Jerome Powell. It's a new guy. His last name is Warsh. And, it's not looking good technically. There's no reason why the markets should be pushing the way it is, but it is. And that's just something that we have to deal with. Now, Bitcoin, on the other hand, is selling off. Bitcoin did lose that support range of around 63,800. Now, it was a previous resistance level. So while it was ahead, this was getting rejected for many days, if not for many weeks, all the way back since June. So literally almost 2 or 3 weeks, it was trading within this range. It finally broke out of this range from 63,800 and pushed up to 67,300. It had a nice crossover. The 45 EMA, or the blue line, crossed over the 200 MA, or the green line, and it was showcasing signs of bullishness. Now, it did validate this old resistance level as a support level for just a little while, from June 14th to now June basically 18th. It was above that old resistance level, new support level, and now it is back below this level again. Now, as you can see here, right underneath this moving average, you can see when it's above the moving average and we get a nice crossover, it's bullish and it begins to trend up. When it's below these moving averages, it begins to get weighted down and begins to sell off. And not only is it below the 45 EMA, it's below the 200 MA and struggling to get back above those levels. Now, this support, which was a resistance, has now turned back into a resistance level, struggling to get back above 63,800, and we're about to experience a crossover. If this blue line crosses over the green line, then we can potentially see more selling pressure to the downside, maybe going back down to retest 61,000 or even 60,000 or even potentially $59,000. So we do have our alerts set right here. We do have one set for 61,000 if it drops below that, and we have one set for 62,000 if it drops below that. I will keep you guys all up to date if that does happen. Now, if it can get back above the moving average right now at 64,300, then we could see some more bullish sentiment. It could begin to push up higher. Of course, going above that level would make it bullish. But as far as news goes, I'm not really seeing a lot of news for Bitcoin and the fact that it is down. We're going to talk about MSTR in just a second. Saying Bitcoin is stuck near 64,000. CME to sue CFTC over Bitcoin perpetual futures approval. Kevin Warsh, so his name is Kevin Warsh. He's our new Fed chair. Held rates and didn't give much guidance. So that's not good. Hawkish Fed. They're saying he's hawkish. Strategy, the worst Ponzi scheme ever. Critics warn sailors STRC play could end badly. And yes, that is very true. He's selling Bitcoin to now fund where did I just see that? STRC, because they pay a dividend now. So they're paying a dividend from a company that holds Bitcoin. It doesn't actually produce anything. It doesn't produce any products or services. It just holds Bitcoin. Now it's trying to give a dividend, even though Bitcoin is selling off. And we're going to talk about that more in just a minute. Other than that, I don't really see a lot of really news. But let's go ahead and talk about MSTR. MSTR is now at a low of $111. It's seen a low of 110, breaking that $113 support that it's previously had over the last basically month. Now, what I do want to showcase to you is this has gone down to $100 previously. And we were trading this back in February, shorting it the entire time. We were shorting MSTR because it is a BS company from $452, which is where it was sitting back in July of last year, and all the way down to that $100 mark, which was in February of this year, down, let me move this out of the way, 77%. 77%, and that's not even all-time highs. If we look at this weekly chart, from highs of 543 down to $100 was a 80% sell-off. 80% of MicroStrategy, which is now relabeled Strategy, has sold off. That means there are people who bought at $500 and they're now holding shares at $100. That is insane to me. MSTR is nothing but a Ponzi scheme. It is a BS company that doesn't do anything other than hold Bitcoin like a Bitcoin treasury. That's it. Now, it's every time it buys shares, it'll actually borrow money against the shareholders, diluting the shareholders' position and dropping the share price of MSTR to buy more Bitcoin at elevated prices. And now it's selling Bitcoin at the lowest levels ever to supplement the dividend payouts for this BS Bitcoin strategy that he's trying to do for everyone else. What was it? STRC? Let me see if I can get the name. STRC, which is also called Strategy. Look at this. This is ridiculous. They're paying a dividend every single month of almost $1. It's 95 cents, almost 96 cents. But why? Look at how much it's dropped. It went from $79 to $98. Now This went from 98.50 all the way down to 82, also dropping itself 16%. 16%. So, oh, but I get a dividend. I get $1 every month. Yeah, but you just lost 16% of that account size as well because they're paying a stupid dividend. It does not make sense to me, guys. This does not make sense at all why this sounds good to somebody. Let's see, there's a place that shows dividends. Dividend yield 29%. Are you kidding me? 29% for the year, but it's going to drop 16%. So are you really even making money? Not really, which is why MSTR is suffering. Even recently, it popped up from that $100 to 197. Okay, great. Hit 197. Now it's all the way back down to 110. So within 1 month, MSTR has dropped another 44%. 44%, guys. That's half. You buy at 200, you're now at 100. You lost half of your position size or whatever it was if you were holding at those levels. So MSTR has some critical levels as well. A lot of resistance coming in. It broke its support of $113. It still seems to be selling off, but now we come to the issue. Is MSTR so oversold that people begin to buy more and it actually goes up in value again, back to 150, back to 200? No one really knows what's going to happen with that. But what I do know is I didn't mind trading MSTZ today. MSTZ is up 10% on the day. Now, we did make some trades. This was beautiful. I didn't take initial entry at pre-market. I was looking at it. I thought 950 was too much for MSTZ. 980, $10 I thought was too much. But it went from 950 to 1050 very easily, very quickly within the first, basically hour of the market, 30 minutes of the market. It pushed up 10% or $1 per share. Now, we were able to take a 30-cent per share profit on this $1 move. So we didn't get the whole move. And then it pulled back. It pulled back from 1070 down to 1020s. I bought at 1020 and I actually sold around 1035. So again, I only pulled out another 15, 20 cents per share. It was about 20 cents per share on this trade. Wasn't it? Or no, it was a little bit more than that. I'll have to check my trade ideas. But it pushed up again to $11, which was another 78 cents or 7% very shortly. So altogether, this company, MSTZ, shorting Bitcoin, shorting MicroStrategy or MSTR, pushed up $1.50 today, or 15% if you caught the absolute bottom to the absolute top. And it bounced right off of $11. Beautifully. What a beautiful move today. We were able to capture it and lock in $100 today. I did share it in our Discord. And if you want to watch me trade live as soon as tomorrow morning, well, actually, the markets are closed tomorrow. It's Friday for national holiday, Juneteenth. But if you want to watch me trade live as soon as Monday morning, you can definitely click the first link in the description. You'll get lifetime access, and it's 100% free. We trade with real money. I'll show you our Discord chat right here. We have a lot of people talking in the chat room today. I have trade ideas. All my live day trading sessions are right here. You're able to go back and watch over 2 years worth. Actually, it's like a year and a half. I started back in 2025, and we have videos that are live going all the way back to the beginning of 2025. And everything in between. We're now halfway through 2026, which is just amazing. We have tons of videos that you can watch in the past and a ton of future videos you'll be able to watch by signing up with the link in the description below. But what I wanted to show you is our trade ideas. Locked in another 1.5% profit today. Account is growing nicely, up $300 for the week. We locked in $101 today on a $6,000 account. and we are continuing to grow this account over time. We locked in $80 yesterday, $81, which was another 1.32% on MSTZ, and we're continuing to just make profits. I tell you where I'm buying, I tell you where I'm selling, and all together doing very well. I took a trade this morning around, it was from what, $10 ish to that 10.36. And then I took another trade from 10.20 to 10.35. And then I took another trade from 10.40 to 10.60. So again, just kind of scalping it today, locking in 30 cents on my first trade per share, locking in 15 cents per share on my second trade, and then locking in 20 cents per share on my third trade, resulting in that $100 for this account. And we're still growing this individual cash account. We have not yet switched to margin. Again, the PDT rule has changed. It has reduced its $25,000 limit minimum to be able to have unlimited day trading and not be flagged as a pattern day trader, now down to $2,000. But because we're doing this small account challenge where I started a cash account with $2,000 and we're trying to push it up to $25,000. Now, I might just stop at 10,000, which is a great goal, right? Go from $2,000 to $10,000 and then switch that over to the margin account to where we have unlimited day trades. But when I'm buying 100 shares of MSTZ at $9, that's only 900 bucks. When I buy it at $10, that's only $1,000. So technically, if I have position sizes of $1,000 and I have a $6,000 account, I could take 6 day trades a day, every single day in my cash account, and then it resets the next day and I could have another 6 day trades. So in reality, I'm still able to have almost unlimited day trades. Now, do I want to increase my share size moving forward? It's quite possible. Maybe I want to take $2,000, $3,000, maybe even $5,000 position sizes, be able to get in and out, make that money, make 1 or 2% on each trade, and then be able to rinse and repeat in the margin account because we will be able to have unlimited day trades. I'm still thinking about that. Maybe we put $2,000 in and we trade with $2,000, getting multiple entries and exits with $2,000 accounts share size. But for now, I'm enjoying growing this account. My next milestone is to hit $7,000, and then of course 8, 9, and 10, and then go from there. Maybe I'll have 2 accounts. I'll have my individual account with, say, the 8,000, and then use the 2,000 because we reached 10 and start with the margin account. Maybe I could pull that money out, use it for something else. Maybe we could trade both. We could still grow our cash account while experimenting with unlimited day trades with the margin accounts. I'm not really sure how I want to structure it or what I want to do moving forward. Let me know what you would do in my situation. Do you continue growing the cash account or do you switch over to margin account? I'd love to know your thoughts. Also, you can get 2 times leverage or 2 times buying power with margin if you want to, which means we could pull the 10,000 over to the margin and then be trading with literally having a $20,000 account. So very interesting. I'm excited to see what happens in the future. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the like button for me, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you all bright and early Monday morning at market open for another live day trading session that is exclusive to my LTE team. So click that first link in the description if you want to work with me more on a one-on-one basis and get involved with our community of like-minded individuals who want to do nothing more than simply learn how to day trade and make profits on a more consistent basis. Thank you guys and have a great day and a great weekend.